Welcome back to the Success Publishing videocast. My name is Jessica Soto, and I am here with one of our lovely co-authors, Phillipa Byamah. We love interviewing our authors so that we can just shine a light on their work and their amazing stories from around the world. So I want to welcome you, Phillipa, to the videocast.
Thank you very much, Jessica. Thank you for welcoming me. I've been looking forward.
So can you just give us like a really quick introduction to who you are, where you are in the world, just like a couple sentences of your bio?
Okay, thank you very much. Phillipa Nanyondo is my name, and I am a banker by profession. I am from a country called Uganda in East Africa. Yeah, that is how far I am. I went for my primary and secondary education, and then for university, high school, for high school, I actually majored in mathematics and economics. At the university, I did a bachelor's of science in quantitative economics, and that's what got me interested to get into the banking industry. So I've been a banker by profession, but then alongside, I ventured into doing a bit of business. I can call myself a travelpreneur. I'm a businesswoman. I've ventured into a number of businesses, including training companies, and then a training company, and then being involved in a multi-level marketing company, where I got to understand the kind of power that is in network marketing and the kind of leverage you can make on working with people. So I'm also a member of an international speaking club called the Toastmasters Club, where I once served as the Minister of Education. Yeah, and that was a role that introduced me to several people and broadening my networks. When I understood the power of networks, I really started leveraging on networks. So associations and clubs like those have really opened doors for me in terms of networks. So that is how I am. That's who I am in short. I also love to give back to the community. I'm involved in a number of, two in particular, orphanages that I try to support every single month as part of my initiatives in giving back to the community. So I am very passionate about giving back to the community. That's a little bit about who I am.
I love that. And then you are a recently published author as well. Do you have that book with you to show off to everybody? Yes, Boundless Success with Phillipa. I love that. It's a beautiful cover. How did that feel to get in the mail and hold in your hands?
It felt amazing. It felt such an accomplishment. It was something I was, worried about venturing into. When you share your story, it's like, there's a vulnerability that comes with it, especially for people like me, who's a bit of an introvert by nature. So first I was a bit, I didn't know what to expect, but seeing the book, the work I had put in, the work the publishing team had put in, I just felt so, motivated, proud, and, I felt like one bucket list item had been ticked off my list. So it felt quite amazing.
I love that. That's awesome. So let's dive a little bit more into your story. I love your chapter and everything that led up to your whole story. Can you give us a little bit more background on who you are and how that has also brought you to choosing to become an author?
Okay. So if I get into, from the time I left university, getting into the banking sector, I'm the kind of person who always wanted more in life. So I would not settle for what I had, but then also, achieving at the little you have been given. So I started right from the lowest rank in the banking sector, where you get in from the lowest grade. And I worked my way up because I was a purpose-driven person and then a goal-oriented person. So I was always looking for more, yeah? looking for more, what more could I do? I remember in one of the units where I got, promoted, that was what I would call operations, and I used to have the highest number of transactions when they would compare a number of transactions without errors. I'd always had the most transactions because I was always a go-getter. I wanted more in life. So that same principle applied to my finances as well. I said, I can't keep just settling for just a salary. I need more out of life. I need, to do more. I need to see how to increase my streams of income. I need to think outside the box. I need to just create other avenues such that, I'm not just relying on a salary. And without compromising the time that you have to your main, job, which is your career, you can start something alongside. So that inspired me, to start looking out and venturing into going to other streams of income. And it led me to some of these different fields that I've talked about. I went into a bit of, I started with doing various businesses, and my chapter will detail some of those things and how you're able to identify, or to get ideas, to be able to, incubate, a business idea. Some of these businesses come from little ideas, that start up from your mind. It can be a need in the society. It can be a passion that you have. So I decided to follow a few, cues here and there, and I was able to come up with a side business. And before I knew it, I could actually succeed at doing, two things very well. And that's one of the things that inspired me into actually even sharing my story.
Yeah, I loved reading your journey of, I can do something else on the side. There's this need. Okay, we need to kind of reconfigure here. What else is there? You hit bumps on the road and what it came to. So without giving away, your whole chapter, can you tell us a little bit about the struggles, or maybe like the feelings of the struggles that you went through that brought you to how successful you are now and everything?
Okay. So sometimes in life, Jessica, it's it can go. It doesn't. Sometimes something doesn't have to be a struggle. Sometimes it comes from a space of motivation. Other times it comes from a space of fear. What is it that I was fearing to push me into doing what I did? And I will share with you one of my fears. I feared lack of having options, lack of having choices, because I saw what it did to people. When it comes to these careers, they are very good, but in terms of stability, sometimes they are not. And the pandemic has taught us more than ever that you cannot rely on just a job. We have seen the number of people that have been laid off. The statistics are very clear. I am working in the banking sector, and I'm in the credit department. By the way, I work in the credit department. So we've been privy to these figures, to the effects of what the pandemic has done. Companies have practically closed down, they've downsized, they've laid off, they've started giving people half pay, and it's been quite, and the effects are still unfolding right now. The effects of the pandemic are just beginning to be felt, honestly. Because in the banking sector, there was a lot of, extension of most of the people who had loans or facilities, and you now start figuring out or trying to see how the different economies worldwide will be able to recover from this pandemic and the effects. So I know a lot has been happening there. And for me, it had always been one of my fears, more than several years ago, when I decided to always have something on the side so that if the carpet is pulled from under my feet, I don't lose it. I have somewhere to start from, because I look at options as having, if you look at a table that has got, say, 4 legs, a table that has got 4 legs, if one leg broke off, it will kind of wobble a bit, but it will stay standing. But if you have got a table that is standing on 1 leg and that 1 leg breaks, that is it. So it was that fear of not having choices, that fear of what if this job is not here today? What if today I felt like I'm the biggest achiever, I am the biggest asset to this bank, and they lay me off the next day? What if, so that fear of what will happen if I don't do something, led me into doing some of the things that I've done. And the other was motivation, from the people around me, motivation. When you know, they always say sometimes a partner can also make you or break you, but the motivation from people like my spouse, being very supportive of this go-getter and saying, okay, go for it. And I'm like, today I have this idea. He's like, okay, did you think through it? Okay, try it out and we see. Yes, also that motivation. So sometimes it doesn't have to be a struggle. You see the people bringing as well. My father taught us to be very hardworking people. And it's one of the reasons I dedicated this book to him, to his memory, because he taught us to be go-getters. I come from a family of 8 children, 4 boys and 4 girls. I've got 3 other sisters and 4 brothers. So he taught all of us how to be hardworking, never to sit back. I remember right from our childhood days, even our mother would teach us extra skills like, knitting. I can knit, I can make a sweater, I can make jewelry, I can make beads. Because I remember one of the businesses that I did when I just gotten into banking, I used to do jewelry, I used to do beads. I would make beads and sell to my friends at work, So people would make orders, those who had functions, weddings to attend, they would always be, they would help me market, buy my products. And that was another side income. It wasn't taking away any of my time and my deliverables from my core banking job. But whenever I had extra time, after 5, because we work up to 5 p.m. here in Uganda, after 5, I would now work on, I call it working on my living. Yeah. So 8 to 5, I was basically working for the salary. 5 to 8, I was working more into my future and my other future options. So what do you do after 5, after work every single day? You need to start asking yourself, what do you do? Some of the things that you do consistently, after those working hours are things that will sell, that will save you later in future. So both my parents taught us that skill of always working, looking for what more you can do. They taught us small, things we could do, and it just showed us, and some of those things later in life now turned out into things we started applying to actually make money. Like I've talked about the jewelry, I can make mats, I can knit sweaters. So, but jewelry is one of the things that I got to do. And I was earning some very good income from it. So yes, the motivation, the upbringing, and then the fear, I call it opportunity cost. What you lose if you don't do something. That fear of what if are some of the things that led me to where I am.
I love that. That's awesome. I love your different perspective on that question too. It's the fear and the motivation and all of that. So I know you kind of have like a step-by-step plan in your chapter 2, but what is it that you hope that any reader can get out of your story?
First is that motivation to know that if you desire to do something, you can actually achieve it. I want people to know that when you purpose and, put in work to do something, set up a goal, break it down into achievable, smaller, tasks, and then, keep checking yourself, monitoring your progress, and then not losing the focus, at what you're trying to achieve. You will get there. Yeah, you will get there. I want people to learn that if I could do it, a girl from Africa, and you're able to do so many different things, anyone can do it. If the other thing is that I want people to understand sometimes corporates or people who've got these 8 to 5 jobs. Sometimes they don't know how do I start a business. You'll be able to get a few hints from my book, because to start a business, you don't have to sometimes think so much outside the box. Look for a few hints here and there. You could have a passion in life, yeah, and you decide to build onto that passion. You could have a need in the society, and I'll tell you something about a need in the society. And that led into one of the businesses that I did, that I started about 5 years ago. And can I tell you, Jessica, it was a popcorn business. And I started the popcorn business from my husband's love for popcorn. So that time, where we used to stay, the supermarket that was nearest to us did not have a fresh popcorn machine, and yet he loves fresh popcorn. So every evening after work, he would try to drive to some place to get popcorn. So I was like, but why doesn't this supermarket that's near home, in our home area, why don't they have a popcorn machine? So I walked there and told them, can I supply you guys with popcorn? Can I bring my popcorn machine here? What does it take to rent this place? So they worked out all that. And this is a chain of stores that I know also other towns. They said the rest is history, but I ended up supplying to the rest of their branches. And this was a supermarket that was also not only in Uganda, it was also in Kenya. So do you understand, Jessica, that my product got to Kenya?
Yeah, I love that story in your book.
Kenya. Yes, so such ideas come from, a need in society. So for me, it was popcorn. We lacked popcorn next to us. So what started out as a small idea to have the popcorn nearer to my husband blew out to do something else. And we started also supplying to other supermarkets. So the other, you can also get an idea from a talent that you have. Talent is different from passion. Like you can have a talent, you can have passion about something. It can also come from experience. So for example, now I've got more than 10 years in the banking world, banking experience. So I can start up probably a consultancy firm. You can start up a training firm, offering some sort of services, after your work hours or over the weekend, people, giving that independent kind of advice. It's something you can even start up with a friend, you can partner or that kind of thing. So you'll be able to pick ideas and actually see that starting a side business is not something that is really out of this world. It is something that is doable. So I hope that is something that people will be able to pick.
I love that. That's awesome. I love your can-do attitude. Like, it's whatever it is, whatever the idea is, let's try it, let's do it and see what happens. Yeah. So what has becoming an author now? Because you had so many titles and so many amazing accolades before, but now stepping into your identity as that author, has that changed any more about how you think about yourself? Has it done anything for your mindset, your identity?
Yeah. There's something being an author, does for you, because, people also see you in a different light. Yeah. So I love the way, I'm by the way, Jessica, I'm just going to launch my book, in the next 2 weeks, the official launch. Yeah, it's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. And already I've been sending out, trying to invite some of my friends, and people are wowed. I've been using the book cover as my profile picture, both on my, Facebook. So that it's like, I'm now a brand, yeah? And that is what more it has added on to me. It gives that authenticity to you as a person, yeah? When you get to tell your story, you get to inspire several people. People read your story. Sometimes people don't know how to get out of situations that they're in. So, when people read your story, that pride that comes with everything. So it has really added so much to me. And I'll just tell you one thing. I reached out to, like I told you, one of the things people with 8 to 5 jobs actually struggle with doing businesses. And then I have literally seen people get to the retirement age, yeah, which here in Uganda is 55 years. And then at 55 years, they get their savings. I don't know how you term your savings in your country, but here we have what we call National Social Security Fund, where people save, a portion of their salaries. So statistics actually showed that these people who get to 55 years, first of all, I've practically seen it that when people get to 55 and they're told that it's time for you to retire, majority are not ready. And I have seen it in the banking sector that people actually start asking for an extension of a contract, because now you're no longer permanent staff. You request, can you give me, a contract of 6 months? Can you give me a contract of 8 months or a contract of 1 year as I prepare myself? So if you've not prepared yourself in the last 30 years, in the last 20 years, in the last 25 years, what are you going to do different in just 1 year? What are you going to do different? So you need to start early to plan some of these things. And I was talking about the National Social Security Fund savings, whereby even when people are given these packages of what they've saved for over 20, 30 years, they're not able to think how to use the money because they didn't try out businesses, they didn't venture into trying out things. And sometimes I understand when people come to me and say, I feel like I don't have a business acumen in me. I'm not the kind of person who can do a business. I always encourage people to to leverage on the power of networks. Here in East Africa, we are beginning to grow the culture of having, I don't know if you've heard about circles or investment clubs, where people pool money together, and then you've got brains behind who help you invest your money. So I tell such people, start by saving. Then the ideas will also come later, but start by saving. Open an insurance policy fund, join an investment club. So all those help you to start building onto your money. So, you know, having this opportunity to write this book has introduced me to that world of being able to give advice. And it makes me very proud to say that at least I will leave a piece of me, you know, in this place called that I have lived on.
That's awesome. I love that. And then what is next for you now that you've done all of this?
Wow. So, first of all, next for me is to launch my book, like I said, and that's a major event coming up in the next 2 weeks. And Jessica, I managed to get my chief guest as the marketing director of the National Social Security Fund himself.
That's awesome.
So, because you see, he has been, when he got into this role, he did the statistics and actually realized that most of the corporate people, after being given their packages, this money within, they did the research and then realized that after about 3 years, most of the people's savings were gone. Because people didn't have any prior business in what to do, how to handle money, how to do any business. So that had led him to taking on a campaign of you know, doing financial literacy kind of classes, helping people to learn how to use their money. So when I approached him and told him I have this book called Boundless Success, which I have written, and you know, I used to work I work in a bank, I still do, but I've been doing multiple businesses on the side. You know, I have learned a lot from you know, teaching myself about financial literacy, how to invest, how to save, and so on and so forth. He was so impressed and is actually going to grace my launch. So I'm telling you,
awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. So he'll be gracing my launch in the next 2 weeks. So I'm very excited about just having him, and he's already publicizing, you know, this event as well on my behalf.
Very cool. Well, congratulations. I love hearing all of this. I love learning more about you, and I can't wait to see how your launch goes. And thank you so much for joining us on the video cast today. Again, you can find Phillipa on Amazon.com, Boundless Success. And I can't wait to see what happens next for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jessica. And thank you for having me. This has also inspired me to write my second book, by the way. So I'll be approaching Success Publishers again for a second book, you know, because you did an amazing job. Thank you very much, Jessica. It was nice speaking to you.